President Obama wraps up his final term in the White House. He has made it a point to reduce gun violence here in our country.
Part of President Obama's executive action changes the way people can acquire firearms, as well as a growingly popular accessory for guns, silencers.
KSFY News reporter Cami Raisler learns more about the popular product and the impact it's having right now on our area.
Dakota Silencer is making some noise with this billboard campaign. You've probably seen these signs around the state, so what do you think when you see them? Do you think, wow, what a great device to use while hunting? Or do you think, well, that'd be a pretty easy way to quietly commit a crime?
So this is steel, this is titanium.
Okay.
Titanium's harder to machine. Federally, they've always been legal. In 1934, they started regulating them. The concern was during the Depression that people might poach their neighbors' cattle.
Technically, it's a noise suppressor. Here's a shot without one. And here's one with the silencer.
It's not like people think on TV. You know, on TV, when you watch somebody come up and, you know, it's just that little, you don't even hear anything, you know. That's not the way they really operate.
Right now, silencers are legal in 42 states, with Iowa following suit just this past legislative session.
We opened a store up in Larchwood, so we're now in Iowa as well.
The only state in the Midwest where silencers are not legal is Illinois. I spoke with several state officials and law enforcement officers in South Dakota, and the opinions all seem to be along the same path. Everyone says in South Dakota, silencers are not a problem. Essentially, they are just used for hunting.
Generally, as far as committing violent crimes with a silencer, no, I haven't seen that.
Occasionally we'll come across some people with silencers, but it's pretty rare when we find them.
The Sioux Falls Police Department says if someone is going to commit a crime with a silencer, it is often a homemade one or obtained illegally, just like a gun often would be. Speaking of firearms, the registration process for a silencer is equally as extensive.
You figure out what you want, and you pick out the silencer. At that time, you'll probably pay them for the silencer, and you'll also fill out the ATF Form 4, the transfer, so he can actually transfer that silencer to you. With that, you pay your $200 special occupational tax, the tax you actually pay to legitimately purchase and own that silencer, and then all the paperwork goes into our branch up in D.C., and that's where the process actually begins. That's where your background's run. You take the picture, you have your picture taken, you supply the fingerprint cards. Right now, at the time, the chief law enforcement officer has to sign off on anything that you purchase that's under the NFA.
People I spoke with say a majority of silencers are used to help hearing and recoil, among other things.
It's one of the few things that my children still like to do with the old man, you know. So, I mean, when they come home from school for the weekend, we like to go shooting out at my buddy's farm, and we can talk just like you and I are right now, and one of the other kids could be shooting 5 feet away, and we'd have to speak no louder than we are now.
There's too many benefits. I mean, you don't have to wear earplugs. That's a big deal. You're not going to get as much recoil like on a bigger rifle. That's important. Whoever you're hunting with, they're not going to have to wear earplugs because your gun's loud.
It's just much more comfortable shooting.
So for a majority of folks, silencers are simply used for sport. Police officers and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives have not seen an increase in crime due to these devices. And now for the irrelevant question that many people seem to have, who's the woman on the billboard? Dakota Silencer says they actually don't even know who she is. They just grabbed some clip art and put it on their billboard. In Sioux Falls, Cami Raisler, KSFY News.
New gun trust laws that will impact what it takes to own a silencer take effect on July 13th. Many people believe that this might create a backlog in the registration process, but ATF agent KELSEY says it actually may be quicker because the silencer owner will no longer need approval to own from local law enforcement. For more details on the president's new legislation, head on over to KSFY.com or check out the KSFY News app.